All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Actually Comics. My name is Tristan, and I am joined today by Bob. He's over there.
Hello, friends.
Yes, that's the triple F friends that we all know and love.
Friends.
That's right. He's seen a ghost because it's the Halloween season.
There's no Scooby-Doo comic
We're
this week.
so spooked out. But we have, there is actually a lot of weird little Halloween offerings this week.
There are.
Some fun stuff.
Fair amount.
I'm kind of excited about some of this stuff.
There's some good stuff.
There were a bunch of books that I really enjoyed. Some of them are so silly that they... You know, I enjoyed them because of their silliness, and some of them I enjoyed because of their qualité.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through it because it's a big week.
Yeah, there's a lot of books.
As usual, it's a big week, but this seems to be a particularly big week.
Yeah. They really ought to work on spacing these fucking things out.
Yeah, like release like 2 comics a week.
I mean,
you know, like
that's a little low on
Spider-Man and Batman.
Yes.
And then nothing else.
That's right.
That's what I'd do if I was president of comic books. That's what I'd do.
Well, I mean, you probably would because those would sell.
I mean, that was the plan that DC went with for a couple of years there.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out so good.
Yeah, it's called flooding the market.
Flooding the market with only Batman books. Yeah, that did not help us.
No.
Anyway, let's talk about Minor Threats. The World of Minor Threats presents The Alternates.
Yes, with a foil logo cover.
Curses.
I liked the first issue better than this one, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt. We all like that guy.
We do. We like him. He's
funny.
Continued to be funny.
And stuff.
And he's only complained about cancel culture once that I can remember.
Yeesh.
And he was like, sometimes listen, as an old guy, I understand that we take a little while to pick up on societal trends
to read
sometimes.
The Room.
Reading The Room too. But I appreciate that once he finally was able to read The Room, he went, "Oh, I get it. I'm being a dickhead. I'll stop being a dickhead." And then he stopped. And that's the difference between people who are dickheads and people who learn.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like it when people learn.
There's another guy that did that too, I think. What's
Louis
his name?
C.K.
No, it wasn't that guy. I mean, I don't know about that guy, and I actually don't know what he did. But I think I'm thinking
nothing
of
good.
Dan Harmon.
Oh, yeah.
I think he kind of figured it out
Absolutely.
as well.
I think Dan Harmon's...
Maybe.
Honestly, I want nothing more than for Dan Harmon to retire from writing normal things like Rick and Morty and whatever he does normally and just do a woodworking show. Because he's now obsessed with
Yeah, I read that.
He got a bunch of woodworking equipment, and I follow his Instagram with something else, and literally it's just him puttering around a woodworking workshop and being incredibly smart about what he's talking about and just doing cool stuff that I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm glad that you're living that kind of life. Yeah. I would love that. I would love that for myself. But you know what else I would love?
What?
An Archie horror title by the name of Fear the Funhouse.
I don't believe that's true.
No, I would not enjoy it at all. You'll never guess. There's a Chucky parody, and his name is Plucky. But he's not a duck, oddly.
I flipped through it and didn't even notice. So
it's only on the cover. I don't think there's actually a story.
Okay, I must not have picked that one up then.
What about The Astonishing Iceman?
Yes,
he's one of my amazing friends.
Yeah.
Damn it! Did I just reveal that I was Spider-Man?
You did. Well, I mean, now you did. You had plausible deniability for a little bit, but
other
you lost
people can
it.
have amazing friends. Shit. It's so true.
No, the Iceman thing is fine. He shows up, he fights people, makes quips. He's kind of very Spider-Man-y in this series.
I mean, he is. Some of his being an amazing friend of Spider-Man has worn off on him. Mm-hmm. He and Firestar, yes.
Yes, Firestar.
Not Storm. That's the other guy.
Firestorm is a different.
Is a
DC
different.
is really not doing anything with Firestorm for a long time.
Firestorm is such a difficult character.
Really?
Especially when they created Deathstorm. They really put themselves in a corner there with that character.
Thanks, Jeff Johns.
That was
your contributions to
the contribution
the canon.
I mean, just a character that you took away the one thing that made it even slightly believable that he could exist in the world, that he had constraints on his powers.
Yeah.
And you gave Deathstorm no constraints on the power, so he could turn Superman into a bowl of pudding whenever he felt like it, or turn the entire world into a cloud of butterflies if he felt like it. It's like,
how do you beat that?
How do you write that story? How do you write a story with that character and have it make any sense?
It's called MacGuffins.
MacGuffins.
You need MacGuffins.
Egg MacGuffins.
Yeah, I could use an egg MacGuffin right now.
It would really help.
I'm going to smash my birthday dinner when I get home. My leftovers from my birthday dinner last night.
Which was all
fried
McDonald's.
Chicken. No, it was fried chicken from Crispy Guy.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Please tell me that's a real place.
It's a restaurant.
You're making that up.
I am not. It's Crispy Guy. It's on Exchange Street.
That's such an asshole name. It sounds like what I would name a restaurant if I had
it's a fried chicken place
restaurant.
it's an Asian fried chicken place that has the crispiest fried chicken. That's called Crispy Guy. G-A-I. Crispy
good.
Guy.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. No, it's good. I went there for my birthday and it was good.
Also, I would like to
also
point
their
out,
fried rice is really good.
I'm sure it is. I would like to point out that it does have the this Astonishing Iceman has the train car hopping hobo Captain America on the cover.
Oh yeah, he's in the issue as well.
He is in the issue.
They team up.
That's great.
The whole deal with Iceman now is he got killed, right? And now his boyfriend, who is an Inhuman, wills him back into existence for however, but he can only live in this one place. And then he can exist in the world for a few minutes at a time by the grace of his own mutant like belief in himself or some shit. So he basically like shows up and has to beat the villain very quickly, otherwise he dies again.
So he's basically Frosty the Snowman now.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of dumb because like the whole deal of him is that like as long as there's like a molecule of water left on the planet, like he can still exist. That's why he's like the Omega level mutant.
Right. I mean, it's a very Wolverine ability. And then that was taken away from Wolverine as well.
Right, by Mr. MacGuffin himself, Jerry Duggan.
Yep. Jerry MacGuffin.
Mick Duggan.
Here's a title that I'm having a hard time moving because of the fact that it has the word Avengers in it, and I wish they had taken the word Avengers off of it so that people would buy it. But this is
think people don't buy it because it says Avengers?
Like Avengers books, people don't want an Avengers book.
Really?
I don't know why. I can't explain it.
That's strange.
This
book
is just
great.
This place, maybe it's just our small corner of the universe.
Maybe.
But man, things with Avengers on them do not sell because I feel like people say, "Oh, well, we got the movies. We don't need this." I feel like there's a little bit of that mentality. But this Avengers Incorporated is a crazy, Vision story, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually in this one the Vision is in it, but this guy is not the Vision.
He is a they
made it seem like he's going to be the Vision, but he's not because the Vision shows up in this comic.
He does, but also he's they're trying to figure out if he is a clone of Vision of some sort.
How do you clone a machine?
I mean, you used to have to, like, when you took the hard drive, you would
3D printer.
Yeah, you could swap it, and there was like a master slave setting where it was like, oh, one goes here, one goes there, and then you'd.
Yeah.
I remember how to do it, but I don't know how I'd do it with the Vision.
I think, and this is just speculation. But I think it's that guy who Al Ewing introduced, the masked bandit guy, whatever.
Oh, I hope so.
I
like him.
I don't know.
I thought he was cool.
We'll see.
And speaking of really good comics this week, oh my goodness, World's Finest.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Things are happening on the Kingdom Come front, which is very exciting. This book fucking rules.
It has good.
Forever.
I hope it's not. I mean, I hope that I really like this book, and it doesn't matter to me if it does or doesn't do it, but I hope that the Kingdom Come thing is just like one arc and then they get out of there, because like Kingdom Come is interesting to me, but I think that some of these things are just like when you endlessly revisit, Kingdom Come existed, but then there was The Kingdom, and then there was like Kingdom 2, and then there was
but those weren't Mark Waid vehicles, were they?
One of them was. There was one that was an Alex Ross
JSA thing,
and there was one, and then JSA did it. That was Jeff Johns. But I mean, the point being just that, like, I like the if you read World's Finest, like the deal with that character. That's whatever. I don't want.
Yeah. But if you like this,
if you like it, you like
Mark Waid is returning to it. It's very interesting. I think.
Yeah.
this is the first time we've actually seen the world, and I love the fact that we've returned to the diner, and that was one of the big set pieces was someone else drawing the diner, and it was drawn, in that Dan Mora kind of style,
that
and
sort of
cool.
quasi Jim Lee sort of looking
But that
art.
was awesome.
Be like if Jim Lee sort of, but better. I like.
Yeah,
him better. I actually like Dan Mora better
except
than
that
Jim
there
Lee.
weren't boobs obscured by fog.
Exactly, or giant Green Lantern dick cannons.
Dick Cannon, you are the best of all of us. All right, so here's a controversial one between the two of us.
Oh yeah.
Beneath the trees where nobody sees.
Mm-hmm.
This is as you may guess from the Teddy Bear's Picnic lyric that makes up the title, and the bloody sack that the bear is carrying into the woods. This is a serial killer teddy bear story.
It is literally a funny animal Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Funny animal Lecter.
Yeah. Funny animal Lecter.
Oh my God. Do you think that anybody thought of funny animal Lecter when they were doing this?
I don't think so.
That's a shame.
Maybe they did.
But it really is. It's an entire little, entire town full of different animals. Everyone's a different species of animal in this town. And the brown bear that lives in this town, who's runs the hardware store, I think.
He's got very strong, who am I thinking of? John Wayne Gacy, but not like a clown. He's like a average kind of overweight man who everybody loves in the town. He's like an affable guy, but then he also bisects his neighbors. Yes.
And it is very very gruesome, and it
graphic.
So here's the thing.
That's why I didn't like it personally.
It is a very well told story. It is a beautifully illustrated story. But it is also very gory, and it is gory to cutesy animals in a storybook children's story way. So for people who find that repellent, the idea of somebody doing that kind of thing, and it's at this point in our society, I can see where that would definitely get repellent, because we are at the point where there is no childhood thing that hasn't been turned into porn on the internet, a horror story, or a fucking shoot 'em up.
Yeah,
it is.
We've seen graphic, funny animal comics a million times. It's not like it's not like it's treading new ground. It is sort of treading new ground in that in its graphicness.
I think that literally is it. That it has just taken it to a level where there is legitimately, not to spoil a part here, but one of the characters is legitimately bisected and dissected and cut into cubes, essentially.
Yeah.
And you see every piece of their anatomy splayed out on a blanket.
Yeah.
And it's, it is a very, very...
I believe that's called vivisection.
If they are still alive, yes.
Oh, yeah. I think maybe he was dead.
They were gassed, so maybe they were still alive.
I'm not sure.
May have been a vivisection.
I don't know. All I know is that it's very well crafted. It's a fine piece of art. It is just not a thing that I am looking for in a story.
I will also say on the positive side for this book, Kyle Starks apparently thinks it's his favorite book of the year.
Yeah.
So he was a big fan of this. Marshall talked to him at Comic-Con and said that he really, really liked this one. So
it does do obviously, there's a bear carrying a bloody sack of parts on the cover,
Sure.
so it's not like it's pretending to be anything that it's not.
Right.
But if you were to just not look at the cover and read it, you'd get about 5-6 pages in before you realize that something dark is about to happen. It's very much like a kind of Our Town, and with funny animal kind of, and the art's nice. It's well done. The vivisections are beautifully portrayed.
If it was Our Town, it would be on a stage with no set, and someone would be frying bacon. But that's for all you theater kids out there. Anyway, Big Game by Mark Millar and Pepe Larraz is out there. A wonderful waste of the greatest artist going right now. One of them. And we've got a pen and ink version of Berserker. If you can't get enough of that.
Well, if you like Ron Garney.
I do.
Pretty cool thing to look at.
It is. It's beautiful. And we have the... Luckily, it's not last week, so this is not the worst pun that I've ever seen.
God, it's bad, though.
It is Cat watch me if you can.
And it's literally the worst.
No, because there was a character last week who was a version of Hush, who was female,
Shush.
a she-hush, if you will, known as Shush. So
It's true, but the blurb itself, like the name, that's just a bad name. This is a bad blurb.
This is a very bad blurb.
Oh man, all of a sudden I smell either a skunk or some really strong weed.
It's always strong weed on this fucking block.
Someone is smoking like right behind me on Congress Street. It actually smells pretty good, which is weird because it smells like a skunk.
The number of times that we have, we're like, I remember back in the old days, it was like, oh, that smells like a skunk, and it's like now weed is so powerful that it legitimately is difficult to distinguish between an actual skunk and the weed because of the level of like just potency in the weed.
Totes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
anyway,
people love to sit in front of that front door and just hotbox this space while we're doing podcasts.
Because they think that when they go in the little recessed area that no one can see them smoke, piss, shit.
Yeah, we can smell all of that. And all of it gets us high for some reason.
It's also all visible from the street.
Yes.
I don't know why people think that if they do, it's like, okay, there's no cover there.
Nobody cares.
I don't think people shit in your front door, but
no, it's the back door they do that. It's always the back door.
You mean the Enterprise front door?
No, my literal back door.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
Congress Street.
It is Congress Street. And one of the people I saw pissing there, just a hipster. Just some fucking dude with some fucking drunk dude with a waxed mustache and like.
I went into a bar. I
shirt.
Drank 3 beers in 20 minutes, and then I left and forgot to take a piss because when I was in there, I didn't realize I had to piss, and then I got outside, and all of a sudden I was
and
dying,
it didn't care.
And I just was like, "Where is a place I can piss?" And
that's it.
That's where it was, unfortunately.
Next up, guys, Children of the Vault.
I don't really get it, but it is fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I actually haven't read this issue, but the first few I really enjoyed, so whatever.
Not sure where it's going.
Coda, I'm not following it. I didn't like the first one, so I'm not following this one.
I did like the first one. I decided not to follow this one, but I do think the art is very, very, very good.
The art is beautiful.
Very good.
I am a Simon Spurrier apologist, so pretty much I forgive him an awful lot because of the cool stuff he's done in the past. So
I'm a take or leave Simon Spurrier.
I mean that's kind of what I am. I don't go out of my way to read his stuff because sometimes it's just bad. You know what's good this week that I was actually really surprised by, and also I was really happy of the way that they portrayed it. Crypt of Shadows.
Oh yeah. There was a couple good ones in there. I thought it was good.
So I liked it.
One of not the only horror anthology this week.
Absolutely.
That's good.
But I really loved the fact that I mean maybe they've done this before, but they had a crypt keeper. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, this is awesome. There's a vampire who's trapped behind in a mirror by a spell, and he's like talking to himself and announcing the stories as they come out. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
I think horror hosts are like kind of coming back.
Oh, absolutely. In a big way.
Into the Zeit. And credit to Sven Gulli for keeping the torch open.
Yeah, I think so too. And also, you know what? Penny, our friend Penny Dreadful as well. I think she's
I'm sure
bringing
there's others I make her tough.
It's true, but I call her local. She's not really all that local, but she's a friend of ours and she's awesome. So I would say
nice. Credit her as well.
Yeah, she's bringing it as well. Okay, Crypt of Shadows, I give like highest marks to. I loved it.
I would give it high marks if you're looking for a horror anthology. It's right up there.
Yeah. Daredevil #2. Any good? I didn't read it.
It's not grabbing me.
I mean, it's got a lot to
I mean, I've made my
live up to.
Yeah, and I've made myself known as just like I just don't give a fuck about God and the devil. I don't fucking care. That's why I was actually talking about this online with my friend Andy in comments, but he posted a thing of Satanish. And that's what I like. Is like he's just Satan adjacent. He's feeling a little satanish today, I like that. I like Mephisto to some extent. But like when it gets into the like actual Christian mythology bullshit in comics,
I
fuck
agree.
off with it. I don't fucking care. So Daredevil's a priest now. It's boring. I don't care. Maybe it's interesting to some people. It is not interesting to me, and I don't give a fuck.
Okay, so Cyborg is out.
Yeah, it's all right. This series is all right. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of there.
Yep. Deadpool Batter Blood is out.
I will pass on describing anything about this comic book.
I will say that I was incredibly excited to see Deadpool on a skateboard. I thought this was a funny
the cover is the best thing of it.
I loved the cover, and then I started looking at the trucks, and the engineering of those trucks is so fucking wrong that it made me so angry.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you going to do with that? It doesn't
But I don't
turn.
even think Liefeld drew that.
No. Whoever drew it has never seen the trucks of a skateboard or was intentionally trying to make some sort of...
Yeah.
Maybe it's Rocket Racer's board.
It's like when you see a drawing of a drum set and there's there's the hi-hat but there's no foot trigger for it or something. Exactly. You know, it's just like, come on, like you literally had one job. It was to look at a thing and then like do some kind of approximation of it. Whatever. Yeah, no, I just don't. It's weird to me that he must literally work for like just absolutely nothing. Like I can't.
Probably. I mean, I know that he makes a minimum of like $2,000 on every page that he sells that has Deadpool on it. So
he just does it for nothing and then sells the originals.
That's my guess.
Yeah, okay.
Is that like the covers sell for $10,000 and the pages sell for $2,000, and he makes money off that, and the comics can be as bad as he wants them to be.
No, clearly he wants them to be very bad.
Yeah, as nasty as he wants to be. So we have here a Dune House Harkonnen number 10.
I did not and do not read many of the licensed comics of this nature.
No. We have City Boy with a Swamp Thing.
City Boy is good. I actually really like City Boy. I think it's good. It's good and not as good as the other series it was launched with, Spirit World, but it is good, and Greg Pak is a good writer.
All right. And another, speaking of cute kiddie things that are turned into violent, bloody massacres, we have Dwellings. And you know what? I just think I mentally understand the difference between this and the teddy bear comic.
Because there is a difference, because I love Dwellings.
I think I understand where the separation is the other one is too accurate to what an actual like British little old lady making a children's story would draw. It's too close. Whereas this is just, a little Lulu comic or a Casper.
Yeah.
And
it's
nobody
like Harvey, but like actual horror. I think
but
for
nobody cares if that happens to them.
It's the juxtaposition. I mean, obviously, number one, it's the level of storytelling craft that goes into it. Yeah. Like Jay Stevens has been doing ultra high quality work for his entire career, which goes back decades. So it's like there's that. Like pacing, it's not about like just the gross out imagery. When the gross out imagery happens, it's kind of like,
and it's cartoony.
It's cartoony.
Visceral.
It's definitely like, it doesn't do the same thing that the art in that Bear comic does. But I do think that it's just he understands. He understands how to scare people, like how to get inside someone's head and develop a world in a way that, like, even though you're looking at this like totally cutesy imagery, if you really read the comics, like they are actually terrifying on a certain level. Like these two are not my favorite of the issues of Dwellings, having read all of them except for the final one, which I think I forgot to order in the Kickstarter. I realized today. I'm not sure. It's possible I bought it and just forgot. It's also possible I completely forgot. Anyway, the one with the tongue is definitely like the craziest one, and that was in the last bound volume. But these are great if you didn't get the Kickstarters to read.
The one with the crow from the last one.
Yeah, I mean that was like 1, 2, just like boom, boom. Yeah, those that was issue 1 and 2 of the series. This is 3 and 4, and then there'll be one more that's 5 and 6.
Yep. Anyway, it's great. Read it.
It is great. It's definitely like one of the best books on the stand, if not the best.
Holy crap! Fables continues.
Yeah, it's
Who knew?
it's
I'm so
public
far
domain
behind.
now.
I'll never know.
You could make your own Fables ending now.
Exactly.
You could probably do it faster than this book is coming out.
160. It is out. Jay Garrick, The Flash is out.
I'm still interested in it in the same way that I was. I actually really liked that Stargirl that introduced these characters.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I'm following this story because it interests me.
Yeah, it's
and
cool.
I didn't hate this.
We have
That sounds
Dynamite.
negative. I would say I liked it.
We have Dynamite's Gargoyles. Halloween special.
Garguys and gargoyles.
I hope this is the new idea from Dynamite that they are going to improve their cover quality so that they're not constantly getting damaged in shipment, because man, does Dynamite damage easily.
Because their paper stock and cover stock is the same,
Exactly
like what Marvel
the
was
same.
doing for a while.
Just absolute trash. And this is like Scout. This feels like that same like heavy duty, like nice cardstock looking, awesome. Into it. We have The Forged.
Oh yeah, this if I was reading this from number 1, it's probably really good. I mean, it's by the same guy that wrote Gotham Central, so
Yeah.
he knows how to develop a story long form. I just like it didn't. The first issue didn't grab me, so I haven't been really following it. But the art's great.
We have here Ghost Rider number 19. And I think this is probably like the closest thing to a return to form that Ghost Rider is going to have for any time soon. I'm a fan of the characters that they're bringing in. I don't know. I think this is a good series.
Yeah.
I think ever since the Wolverine crossover, this has gotten considerably better.
I think Benjamin Percy is one of the best writers Marvel has in their stable currently.
I agree. That is the truth. We got Green Lantern War Journal. It's got zombies and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like the villains of it, and I think that DC is on the wrong track with the Green Lantern comics right now.
I know, it makes
I
me
think
sad.
all of them are off the rails.
I thought they were gonna fix it. I was so convinced.
I mean, it's really
so fucking convinced.
Just kind of basic, like just
Well,
it doesn't like don't make it so stupid continuity involved. Like this thing is like, what's going on? He doesn't even have a Green Lantern ring. He's just like got the power, and he's like the god power and stuff. I'm just like blah, fucking blah.
Yep.
I don't know, whatever.
Grimm is out.
I like Grimm.
Yeah. We've got Hawk Girl number 4 of 6.
This is the is not a Hawk Girl comic. Is my problem with this?
I know.
It's
so
like
weird.
it's all about this alien character, Prism or whatever the character is called, and it's not a Hawk Girl story. It's just like Hawk Girl is in it, but like it's not. It should be called something different.
Yep, I agree. So we have next Zoe Thorogood's treatment of Hack Slash. Holy crap! Is Zoe Thorogood my new favorite artist? Is that possible?
I think Zoe Thorogood is a very good artist. I
Holy
like the
shit!
style.
I love it so much.
I don't. At this point, there's too much Hack Slash lore for me to know in order to really get this. But if I was just buying a comic for the art, like I would, this would be a contender. It's a great look book.
It's weird that they kept to any of this. Like it seems like they could have simplified this quite a bit, but
yeah, it's like there's some kind of school where they learn to kill serial killer, like Jason's.
So basically,
it's like a school for Jason killers.
They're basically doing a riff on Something's Killing the Children, essentially.
Oh, which I also don't read.
Harley Quinn, Black and White and Red are all over.
And Zoe Thorogood has a story in that as well.
There is so much beautiful art in that book. Holy cripes.
The selling point for me on that one is that it's a reuniting of Kyle Starks and Chris Schweizer, who did the Mars Attacks comic. That was the first thing I read from Kyle.
I loved that so much.
I love that. I love that writer art team. It's great. There's another story in that Harley Quinn as well that's fine, but those first two, one Zoe Thorogood and then the other one is Starks Schweizer, and I think that it is a good looking book. And that is a book that you're buying for the art, like it's, I mean, the stories are fun,
Yeah.
but they're toss away stories.
These are art books, 100%. Speaking of art books, but also great fucking stories, and also, oh my God, Tyler Crook. Holy crap.
Oh, wait, is this that Dark Horse Headless thing?
Headless Horseman from Dark Horse. Sure, you're paying $7.99 for it, but you should pay more. It's so good. It's worth every penny.
I love the host.
Awesome.
I love the host.
Yep.
The Headless Horseman host.
Yep.
I loved the Tyler Crook story a lot.
Yep.
It's definitely my favorite story I've read for this Halloween.
Yeah.
Hands down. This season, this spooky season.
So good.
Hands down my favorite. But I did not love the other stories in it as much.
I liked
they're
the other
fine.
stories. I didn't love them. No.
They're good.
But they're good.
But like that Tyler Crook one is just like fucking great. It's
so,
really good. So
good.
if you want a horror anthology, I'm sure I could probably do a better job of talking up the earlier stories in it. But man, get it for that Crook story.
No, I mean they are good though. They're not throwaways, but they're it's just Crook, I think it really is just how good that Tyler Crook story is.
I love that he just does those too, because he had a story in that DC Ghouls Want to Have Fun that was also really fun and good.
Hexagon Bridge.
I really wish you still had number 1, because I didn't buy it when it came out, and I was like, this is cool, but for whatever reason I didn't buy it. And then I looked at this one, I was like, this book is fucking gorgeous, and I really thought it was cool, and now I need to find number 1, and I'm going to keep buying it because it's great.
Yeah. We've got Incredible Hulk number 5. I love Incredible Hulk.
I like it.
Series quite a bit, and also I love that the variant you gave me, the variant that is the sort of homage to Hooky.
Oh,
it's got the Hooky monster on it. It's got like a Bernie Wrightson.
I grabbed the one from the top.
Yeah. That's basically the.
That's
Bernie
not the
Wrightson.
main cover.
Maybe it is the main cover. One, yeah, that is the main cover.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the title. Was it Tyler Kirkham or whoever it is that's the fill-in artist?
Yeah,
like it's all right.
It's really weird. Like it's weird. It's really drastically different. Let's say.
But I did really like the I like this run, and
the story is good enough to power through the fact that the art is more gestural than
and it's not bad art. It's just not a style that I like.
It's not house style. It's definitely more indie style, which is interesting. But it's good.
It's cool if you're a fan of that artist. It's like no shame. I don't think it's bad art. It's just like I don't like it as much as the regular art team. But whatever.
And there's a backup that's like, by the way, do you remember Power Man?
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
We have a character called Power Man that's not Luke Cage. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess I remember that.
The art's pretty good on that one,
like,
too,
no, you care about him. And we're like, no, I don't think we do. I don't think anybody cares about that character. I think he was a misfire. But maybe not.
I'm sure someone does.
It's possible. I do not remember that being very successful. But In Hell We Fight number 5 is out.
Excuse me.
John Layman and Jock.
Jock, not Jock, but Jock.
Please, not Jock. It's Jock.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's Joke.
I wish. Invincible Iron Man number 11. They're continuing to get married over and over again. But you know what's better than any of that put together?
What?
It's Jeff, the
400th printing of the same Jeff comic. It's great.
We keep selling out every time I get it in, so
it's great.
I'm going to keep getting it because it's so fun and funny and delightful. Yeah. And it's, if ever they're like, my kid wants a comic book, I'm like, and they're like, Jeff. They're at a low reading level, and it's like,
I know Jeff. Doesn't even have words.
Doesn't have words. This is perfect. Your 3-year-old to 5-year-old is going to totally understand this.
That already knows Baby Shark? Yeah, it's definitely like...
Just tell him it's Baby Shark. It's fine.
It's got Spider-Man and a shark. What kid isn't going to be like...
Spidey Shark. I probably have to pay like $4,000 for that now.
Yeah, don't do it.
Anyway, we've got Junior Baker, the comic book that nobody's reading, right? Just who gives a fuck. Let's see. Now, here's the most important comic of all time. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong versus Kramer versus sorry, Albert Brooks
versus Jason.
Didn't mean to steal that joke from you. But yes, versus Freddy versus Jason. Anyway, it's a book.
It's good. It's exactly as good as you would want it to be.
Honestly, I gotta say, I think it's better than I thought it was going to be by probably double.
That's why I said it's as good as you want
Yeah,
it to
exactly. It's weird. I was expecting it to kind of be maybe
I expected
maybe
it to be
garbagey.
bad.
Yeah, yeah. And this
but
is like
it's not.
This is probably the best Justice League, the most Justice League comic I've read in 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, 20 years.
I don't know.
God, it's been a while since I've read a good Justice League comic.
It's a good Justice League comic, and it's a good premise. It's fine. I didn't, it wasn't a take home for me, but I did enjoy it, reading it. It's cool. Some of the covers are neat.
I can understand why people are waiting. If they're not going to get it this week, they may be waiting because there was a delay on the covers with the electronic sounds because they're taking longer to produce.
If there's one with electronic sounds, I'll buy it.
A Kong and a Godzilla, and you open the front and it screeches or roars, depending on whether you have the Kong or the Godzilla cover.
Okay.
So,
that might have tipped it over the edge for me, because it's not like it's a bad comic.
No.
I just was like, it's not like enough of anything where there's other comics I'm buying.
Should I spend $10 on one that roars? Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. It's a comic that roars. Of course I want this.
Yeah.
God. No, it's awesome. I really, really liked it as a Godzilla fan and a King Kong fan, and also specifically a fan of this new series. I think it's fun. I was having this conversation earlier with someone where one of the things that I think I like the most about it is the fact that that it essentially relies on Superman being the Superman that we love as opposed to some other Ultraman-ish telling some sort of The Boys version of Superman that I would not particularly care for.
Yeah, this feels like 100% like the Justice League of regular comics but just Godzilla shows up.
Godzilla. It's like, that Superman is not going to just fly through his head and explode his brains out the back like would probably happen in a boy's treatment of this sort of thing.
Right.
And he's going to have to, because he knows that Godzilla is friend to all children, like Gamera. And so we're going to have a more peaceful resolution. Or maybe he's just going to punch the shit out of a giant lizard. Who knows? Maybe that's going to happen too.
And the monsters are not just limited to Godzilla and Kong in this comic as well, which I thought was cool. Because it's not like DC doesn't have its own share of like Kong-ish and specifically Kong-ish.
I was so happy to see that. The part of this that I think was probably my favorite was that you have the entire Legion of Doom, and they get teleported to Monster Island mysteriously in this thing, and you literally get a moment where Grodd is just like, oh shit, it's God. He sees the world's largest gorilla and he's like, well, that clearly is my god. I probably should worship this thing. And it's like, yeah, that's great. And he can probably psychically communicate with him and all that shit. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
I did like the Legion of Doom, and it's the classic Legion of Doom as well.
It is the Super Friends treatment of the Legion.
Actually, the more we talk about it, the more I'm kind of. I hope you do get that sound one, because I'll probably buy that.
I definitely ordered those. Come on,
I will probably buy that.
It's novelty dumb shit. You think I'm not going to go all in on that stuff? Please.
It's like I don't even know you.
It's like you don't even know me. Kill your darlings. Number 2.
I don't want to kill him.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Kill him.
No.
Come on.
You can't make me do it.
Local Man, number 6.
I actually think this comic is pretty good.
I mean, listen, it's Tim Seeley, so of course it's good.
Yeah, and Tony Fleecs.
Tony Fleecs. Yes, I love Tony Fleecs. But I also love that it's this is such a prescient cover to have on here. This is the blood strike, whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that Liefeld thing is.
But it's cool because there's that flip thing, and then there's the image, the side. So it's he's in the modern, and then there's the back one.
This is
that
Liefeld book,
right?
And he's. There was a comic book news resources or one of those places did a thing where they were like, and he's got a pitch for this series that he's going to be bringing to studios. And it's like, yeah, I mean, they're not going to open the door, but he's going to bring it there. Yeah. He's going to be like, hey guys, look at this, and they're going to be like,
I did.
turn the lights out, pretend we're not here.
I read my news feed at work. Like I have like a Microsoft homepage or whatever, and at this point, after 5 years of working at the same place, it's very much just every comic book news story that could possibly be put on there. It's like that's it. That's all that comes to me. And there was one that was like, Rob Liefeld has proof of concept video. It's like the one comic story that I didn't click on this week.
And I think it's for
not care.
It's for this thing.
Anyway,
the madness.
Yep.
Not the punk rock cover, I see. For some reason, there's a punk rock cover for every one of these madness things, and I don't believe that it deserves them. Maybe I'm just gatekeeping, but
yeah,
I don't think it deserves them. Anyway, the man from Maybe. Holy shit, Shaky Kane. What's going on? The Shaky Kane resurgence is the renaissance.
I think
Shaky
this
Kane
is
coming today.
So I think this is the weird work. It might be the same people. I mean, it's definitely Shaky Kane.
Yeah.
But it's.
I'm sorry, I'm taking this away from the camera.
No, it's fine. It just.
It's so good.
It's cool.
I love him.
Yeah, it's cool. Shaky Kane.
So good. Man from Maybe. It's awesome. It's crazy, radioactive, weird nonsense in the Shaky Kane style. We've got Miles.
Sorry, I keep yawning on camera.
We've got Miles Morales. I'll take you off camera then.
Hey, thanks.
Miles
After
Morales,
yawning.
Spider-Man.
He's fighting vampires.
With Blade.
Good old Blady.
We've got Moon Knight and clearly some sort of Darth Vader in the background.
Yeah, I bought this issue of Moon Knight. Guess why?
Because he shows his dick.
No, that's not why. It's because Tigra's in the whole thing.
She is also in this issue of My Little Pony.
No, you told me too late. I didn't buy it.
You fool. We have Nightwing number 107.
Continuing this pirate story and also with inexplicable Nightwing backup story. I'm just like, does Nightwing need a backup story? I don't think so, personally.
Jesus,
but
I'm knocking everything over. I was so shocked by the cover treatment that I literally knocked everything over when I read, "Come for the sea's immaculate beauty, stay for Nightwing's pirate booty."
That's a cover blurb. That's a cover blurb.
Brilliant cover blurb. It plays into our knowledge that people are only reading Nightwing comics because he has the best ass in comics, and that's about it.
I don't even understand how a comic book character can have the best
Isn't that
ass in
amazing?
comics. It's so subjective.
First off, I don't know the answer to that question, and yet I know that he and Catwoman are the alpha and omega of male and female asses in comic books.
Yeah, the other thing that's really funny about this Nightwing is in the backup story, it's him teaming up with Jason Todd. And if you were looking at it, there is literally no distinguishing characteristics that would tell you which one, except for Jason Todd has that little streak of hair. Yep. But like other than that, it's literally just like two identical twins fighting crime.
Yep.
And I'm just like, but Nightwing has the better ass.
I'm sorry, he just does. I think the fact is that Jim Ballant drew him so much with when he was
Jim Ballant.
Didn't he draw
drew
Nightwing in Catwoman? And I
feel
like
I don't know where that whole. I think George Perez was known for making him have the
really?
Yeah.
The well-pronounced butt?
Yeah, George Perez would find ways to draw him mostly naked a lot.
I mean,
he had but he was more like abs than ass.
Oh, he's definitely abs ahoy.
Yeah.
But speaking of great books, this is probably my favorite Sumerian book that they have done as of yet. That would be Pink Elephant. It is issue number 3.
Nice.
I believe this is the last issue of this arc. And it's great. I mean, it continues to be awesome. It's not, it's not the most brilliant book that's ever existed. There's no reason for it to be. It's a drug-fueled serial killer book that's done in a particular neon pastel.
It's cool. It looks
combo.
good.
It's a beautiful looking book. It's told exactly the way that it should be for exactly the type of story it is. It's just graphically a very appealing book.
I also like that it's
tiny.
tiny.
I just enjoy it. Oh yeah, it's also an interesting
sort of
format.
like manga sized.
Yes, sort of. Yeah, very strange. Love it. I love this book.
Yeah.
I have to move it because it's not the right size to be on there with anything else. So I'm going to have a Red Sonja.
Yep. People like this apparently.
They do. You know what they don't like? They
What?
don't like Robotech Rick Hunter. I'm so sorry.
I don't know why. It seems perfectly fine for a Robotech comic.
I don't know. I feel like there's no reason. I feel like people who want a Robotech comic probably just want the manga.
Yeah, probably.
Rogue Sun is out, number 16. Is that what that says? Yes, it does. It says number 16. Rumpus Room 2 of 5. I didn't care for the first issue.
It wasn't my bag, but I like Mark Russell.
But Mark Russell's awesome.
It's probably
and
great.
Just a heads up, if you really want a good Mark Russell, like probably one of his best, Not All Robots is out in trade paperback this week. Ringo Award winning, I believe Eisner Award winning as well.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a great one. Rumpus Room is fair to middling.
Second Coming is still my favorite Mark Russell.
Oh, it's so good. That was such a good
book.
one.
It still comes out.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's still good too.
really?
Yeah, it is.
Nightmare Country, we stopped selling it. Like, it just stopped selling.
I know it did. But
But
other than that one copy I was buying.
yes. I just don't like buying one copy of a comic because it's always destroyed.
100% understand. I've found my copies.
If you get more
I'll
than
cheat on you to get Mark Russell's Second Coming.
if you get less than 5 copies of a comic book from any distributor, they will mangle them.
Huh.
It is just the truth because of the way that a person has to take a comic book out of a box. There is no way to do that without just absolutely just smashing it to shit. And every time I order like 2 copies of something, it's kind of why our Dynamite stuff is always beat to shit, is because, we get like 10 copies, but people want the variants.
It's printed on tissue paper.
So of the 10 variants, I get 2 copies of A, 2 copies of B, 2 copies of C, 2 copies, whatever, for one of those, Draculina, Draco, whatever, who gives a shit. One of those titles that doesn't sell very well. I just want to get every cover because I don't know what people are going to particularly want, because I can't see how big the boobs are until I finally so I don't know which one they're going to buy.
You can imagine how big they are.
I can.
How globe-like.
How globulous.
So perfectly rounded.
Yes. So round, so firm, so fully packed. They are toasted. That is a Chesterfield cigarette ad from the 1940s.
It's toasted is a Lucky Strike
is that
cigarette,
what it is?
And it's round, firm, fully packed is coffee, I believe.
Interesting.
Or no, maybe it's not.
I think it's the cigarettes.
You might be right. I'll Google it.
Anyway, we got Scrapper from Alex DeCampi, Jordi Belair, Ryan Kelly, Cliff, something that I can't pronounce.
What is it?
Scrapper.
Oh yeah,
it's about a dog. Scarlet Witch.
It was actually
9.
I don't buy this comic, but this comic is good. It's good.
Interesting.
Like I got the first issue and then it like totally lost me, and I picked this one up and I was like, no, this is pretty good. I like it.
So here's one that was another one that is a contender for my favorite book of the week. And also one of my least favorite covers of the week. Sensational She-Hulk #1.
I did like it. It's just like
book.
the old series.
It's
it's just they called it a #1.
It's just a bigger version of it because they put the showrunner of the Disney Plus show and gave her a backup.
Oh,
that backup was super fun.
That
That was delightful. It
was
it had a simple punchline, good setup, fun action. Absolutely loved it. The rest of it, it's just what you know from the last series,
which was great. I love the part in this where Jack of Hearts shows up and it was like Titania and Volcana, and they have this group with the thing that
the Punch Club,
and anyway, Jack of Hearts shows up and they're like talking about how they like basically have this knowing exchange about how hot he is, and they're like, yeah, even dressed like that.
Even dressed exactly.
Like, so
even
funny.
Dressed like that. He's super
I love
hot.
that. Like that line
Pretty
was
good.
great.
It's so fun. She-Hulk has been wonderful. I'm so glad that they're giving this character who has had a really good series in the past, they're giving it a chance to have other great series. Sirens of the City. I have already spoken highly of the art in this.
Carrie
I
Randolph.
love it. It's wonderful. What a great series. Spine-tingling Spider-Man.
Did you read it?
I did not.
Okay.
Did it tingle your spine?
No.
Oh,
Although
no.
it was good.
Now I'm going to look at it.
It's
and
good. It's
gonna-
basically a horror comic where the villain removes no one knows who Spider-Man is, so he's like, Aunt May, and she's like, I don't have a nephew, and he's like, I work at the Daily Planet. They're like, who the fuck are you? And they're like, he's in his apartment, and he's like, where's all my shit? And they're like, get the fuck out of here. This isn't your apartment. And then he also doesn't have his Spider-Man powers. So he like tries to jump and he like almost breaks all his bones, and then it turns into this like kind of demonic chase.
Yep.
Sorry, that's like I gave away so much of the comic.
I mean,
now.
I liked the first. I liked that the
It's
zero
good.
issue.
It's Saladin Ahmed.
Yeah,
and it was the art's decent. It's not like again, it's not a take home for me, but it certainly isn't the scariest Marvel comic I've ever read. But like whatever, it was fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting take.
The scariest Marvel comic that I ever read was the Star Comic adaptation of Shirt Tales. Dark Droids, Star Wars number 39.
Nice.
That is a deep dive for someone who knows the Star Comics line, and that is about it. No one is going to know what Shirt Tales is.
So Around So Firm Fully Packed is Lucky Strike as well.
Lucky Strike.
Yeah, and so is the It's Toasted.
It's toasted.
Yeah, that was on. I knew that because I would every once in a while I would smoke Lucky Strikes until they made me ill physically.
Oh my god.
When I smoked,
That's me and Camels, filterless Camels. I used to smoke too.
yeah, I never liked the filterless Camels. I would do the Lucky Strikes. They taste good. Like I do think that Lucky Strikes are the best tasting cigarette.
Ugh, Cowboy Killers were my favorites.
Oh, you mean just like regular Marlboros?
Yeah, Marlboro Reds.
Yeah, those were
God.
all right. The filters scared me though. I guess that was with Marlboro Lights, but if you like,
because
if you held a flame to them, but like not like burn them, they would like the fiberglass would melt, and then I would just be like, "What am I inhaling into my lungs?"
Oh, absolutely. You're
scary.
I mean, no matter
I
what.
was a Winston guy.
Winston is the worst.
But Winston actually, when they went additive free, was pretty good, and then when they stuck the additives back in and you could taste it,
it was even better.
No, then I got rid of them, and then I was Nat Sherman until I quit.
Jesus. I mean, I'm absolutely glad that I quit, but man, every time somebody like blows smoke in my face as I walk down the street, I'm like,
I do not. One thing I do not ever and will not ever understand is the people who are like, I can't stand the smell of it anymore. I smell it and I'm like, oh my god, like it smells good.
I swear those people smoked for like a week.
Right.
I swear they're like
smoked for like 30 years.
It's like somebody who smoked at a party once and they're like, oh, I quit. I can't smoke. It's like if you smoked cigarettes and you quit, you're like, oh god, if anybody, like I occasionally think if I'm ever like diagnosed where they're like, well, you've got 6 months to live, I'll be like,
oh yeah,
fuck,
spark them
I'm
up.
buying so many cases of cigarettes.
Yeah,
I'm
you know
gonna
what
smoke
sucks
so
though is
much.
that now a carton of cigarettes costs almost $100.
Fuck it.
I mean, I guess it
I'm
wouldn't
die.
matter.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'll put it on a credit card.
No, I still every
bill
once
me.
in a while I'll go out to a show and someone will be out smoking and I'll be like, I can get one of those.
I know myself well enough. I'm not one of those people.
I can do it.
I can't ever do it. Nope. I am a crack addict. I can't fucking touch anything. I am so obsessive. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Speaking of crack addicts,
He's. I mean, why do you think he lives in a cave in the middle of Tatooine?
what do you think he was doing all those years?
This-
Had to do something to keep him occupied. That's pretty boring.
Smoking crack in a cave was
For 30 years while Luke Skywalker grew up. 20 years.
I think that's the backstory for Gwar as well.
Oh, nice.
We've also got Subgenre from Matt Kint.
And Wilfredo Torres, which is actually, if you read their series Bang, which was like a spy comic that Dark Horse put out several years.
Let the boys be boys.
Bang with an exclamation point. This is literally just the newest issue of that, but in a totally different format. I actually really enjoyed this comic, but the title is very difficult to read.
I also very much wish that they would not put things in this format. I
Yeah, it does work. Honestly, like the splash, like open it up to the splash page, like it's
fine.
like two pages in.
Okay, I mean, sure.
Yeah, show the viewers at home. Like,
I mean,
that's fucking cool.
it is cool. It's cool.
That's why you do something in that format.
Yeah, but I mean, as soon as I found out,
I can see I'm not going to convince you.
No, you're not, because as soon as I found out that Distillery was doing that that was the only thing they were releasing comics in that form, I was like, oh, you guys are going to go under in a year.
Oh,
like there's no, have no chance.
The thing for me is that like previously the what do they call that? The Treasury format.
Yeah.
Was all about like the Brian Hitch style art, where it would be like something like that would have like 20,000 characters in it, and all kinds of that. I don't like. I don't want it in that. But this, where it's like taking graphic advantage of it, where it's just like, you know, I think it's cool.
Yeah. I'm not a fan still, but I can see your point. Let's see. Superman, oversized 850th issue.
It felt a little slapped together. Like it was like they had a regular issue and they were like, hey, this one's actually 850. Let's make it a big extra size. So they just stuck a bunch of stories on the end. Yeah.
I will say that this main cover, Superman has amazing VPL. So I'm just going to bring that up. Oh, can you see it? Can the viewers at home see his visible panty line? It's creeping. You can see it under his shorts. It's right there. It is. Wow.
Oh wow! Yeah,
it is. It really is obscene.
I think it's a shadow, but
no, that's his VPL.
So he's wearing a thong, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay. Thong.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I like this run all right. But I do feel like this kind of like feels like a regular issue with a few things tagged on the end. But there's a oddly enough a weird DC continuity thing that has not been used in many years that is reintroduced to the Superman mythos in this issue. That is more of a Supergirl thing.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I think this is kind of interesting. We've got swan songs. We've got Maxwell Prince again coming out with another weirdo book. If you were excited about Sad Libs, this is the book that has your Sad Libs in it. Very fun. There's some dumb stuff in this. It's not as depressing as the first two issues, and it's this is more akin to Haha than the.
I like Taha.
Yeah, same. I also like Bebop and Rocksteady.
Oh man, there's some good comics in there.
Yeah,
there's like a scan of an old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Archie comic, and then there's the Nick Pitara Bebop Rocksteady miniseries in its entirety.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's Destroy Everything.
Yeah, it's good.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 144 is out.
Indeed.
Tenement number 5 from the Bone Orchard series.
Bone
Orchard is ready. Titans number 4.
Yep.
This is the one where they enter Amanda Waller.
I think that's another failed. I would actually say Catch Me If You Can was bad, but Enter Amanda Waller is real bad. It's seriously.
I mean,
come on. Enter
eventually
Amanda Waller.
Eventually, they're going to just write the Teen Titans Enter Amanda Waller.
I don't. It's weird how bad they are. I wonder if they have a department that does the cover blurbs, or if it's the people who make the comics who put it on there.
I think there's a separate
I think
department.
There's a company, and I think they need. Yeah. I know Warner Brothers had a lot of layoffs.
Yes.
I think maybe they targeted them in the wrong area.
I think so too.
Maybe they could have kept a couple editors and gotten rid of the people who wrote Enter Amanda Waller on the cover, or Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can.
Oof
is right. Yep. And here we have Walking Dead Deluxe, and we have
deluxe.
Wild's End number 5.
Oh, such a gorgeous book. I love it.
Beautiful. And that's what we got.
Hey,
that's comics this week. Check it out. We did it. We got all the
comics.
We got comics. Thank you so much. And so buy your comics from coastcitycomics.com. That's a thing that we would really enjoy if you would do that. It helps us continue to make these podcasts and do the things that we do. Things like
such as
things such as seals. No, wait. Everybody, hold on. I need to grab a weird bag that I screen printed. I always say me. I actually have a screen printer now. Her name is Sarah Padalano. And I don't have to screen print everything anymore. So forgive me for stealing, what is that called? When you wear a soldier's uniform? Stolen valor. I didn't mean to stolen valor Sarah for her screen printing.
She'll never forgive you. She just quit.
I know. She's
listens to
listening
to the podcast in the future.
Yes.
And quit.
And quit right now. So Nickelodeon Cinemas, we got that is going to be October 29th, 7 p.m. We have Jackie Kong, director of such classics as Night Patrol and The Being with Martin Landau.
Ooh.
And she's going to be presenting Blood Diner. We're presenting Blood Diner there. And you can come see it, and it's going to be amazing. She's signing stuff. We have posters. We've done an exclusive silkscreen poster. We're doing shirts that are exclusive.
The poster is one of my favorite pieces of art I have ever seen that you produce.
Thank you so much.
Genuinely love it.
I think it's super fun. I was very happy with it when we got it done.
You kicked it. You kicked ass on it.
It's great because we had a color mishap, and it turned out to be the best mishap ever because we bought blue ink because it looked like black ink. Because I was like, oh crap, I was out of water-based ink that I'd ordered, so I went down to Artisan Craftsman and I got ink, and it turned out to be royal blue. So I wound up mixing our reds with it and turning it into a dark purple. And the black on the poster is actually a super dark purple, and it looks so much better than it would have looked black.
Oh,
it's
wow.
crazy.
Nice.
And I would never have guessed that would have worked right. So I was really happy that we managed to make that work.
Now you gave everyone your secret.
That's the secret. That's the secret sauce. And it's also covered in secret sauce, which is also a good thing. But Blood Diner, a classic cult film. Another amazing thing. It's just she's full of crazy stories. Her life is insanely impressive. Like just the things that she has done. If you imagine imagine a woman making exploitation horror movies in the 80s, let alone an Asian woman making exploitation horror movies in the 80s. Her life must have been so wacky. And it was. And the number of people that she associated with and the people that she knows, her mother, this is another thing that may be something that we aren't going to really go into too much because she's going to be doing a book about it, so I don't think she wants to talk about it too much. But her mother was a huge film star, one of the earliest Asian film stars in Hollywood, and also had I believe she knew... She mentioned some really interesting things, like specifically knowing. Oh my God, shit! I blanked out on it. Maybe it's me being protective because I'm not supposed to tell these stories. But when I've talked to her about certain things, and she has mentioned. Who was known as the greatest living American actor and then became
Laurence Olivier,
a total bizarro. Well, he's British. So,
sorry.
Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, you're talking about Marlon Brando.
Yes, there was a connection between her family and Marlon Brando, and I don't know exactly what it is, but she definitely knew Marlon Brando in some facet. There's some
Marlon Brando was actually pretty cool.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Like, talk about people who were misunderstood. Like everything that like made him weird.
Yeah.
If you like transpose it into today, it'd just be like he was just smart.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, he's a little strange for sure, but like, you know,
near the end, he definitely started losing his grip.
When you're talking about things that are just like kind of totally no-brainers, and everybody acts like you're insane, you're gonna start to develop some weird fucking like paranoid things about people.
Yes, of course.
In general, I think personally, but like I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. But seriously,
That's
guys,
a different podcast.
Hit this up. It's gonna be amazing. We have shirts that we're gonna do specifically for this. Obviously, we've done the Blood Diner, we've done the Tupman Cafe shirts forever. We're the exclusive place for those. So if you want to get your Tupman Cafe shirts, we're gonna have those as well. We're gonna do them on T-shirts because people have asked. They were on your Italian tanks before, but because that's what they wore in the movie. But we'll do them on T-shirts this time, just for shits and giggles.
Nice.
And yeah, come by. We gotta get some people to these cult movie events and doing these crazy things because come on, we're doing weird stuff. And Jackie has a new comic book out, so it's a tie between all the things that the store does. It just seems like a no-brainer to us to do this because she has 2 issues of her comic. I helped her work on it. I did some logo design work for it. Nice. I'm a big fan of her movies, big fan of Night Patrol, but I wouldn't watch it in mixed company because if you're not 40 years old or older, you're going to be tragically offended by this very offensive movie. It does not stand the test of time. Yeah. I can't even watch it now, honestly.
Wait, which one?
Night Patrol.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, so
I mean, there's a lot of movies like that, though.
It introduced the world to Andrew Dice Clay. She brought Andrew Dice Clay
for that
into
alone.
The world. I know, but it starred Maury Lieberman. Is that his name? The Unknown Comic.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That it was literally a story of him becoming a police officer and being the Unknown Comic at night. How it was like a vehicle for him. So he would wear the Unknown Comic.
Which was just
bag.
Like a paper
it was
bag,
a paper
right,
bag over his head so that he wasn't known for being a cop. And that was like the story of, like, that was the comedy aspect of the whole thing. And so it took place in stand-up comedy places, and there's so many stand-ups in that movie.
Huh.
It's weird. Pat Morita's in it.
Nice.
Yeah. But honestly, it is so offensive. Oh my God. Oh,
I don't know.
Wow.
When I picked up, one of the things I picked up yesterday when I was shopping for cheap ass comics, I picked up a handful of old Evan Dorkin comics, and you know the one that's called Dick Wad of the like Cosmic Vice Squad or whatever, where it's like him doing like the adult jokes. Man, you want to talk about shit that does not age well. It's like the guy who does Milk and Cheese drawing like sex acts.
Ooh, yeah.
But like that are funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine that there was ever a time where people were in it, but like that shit sold more than like Batman sells now.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I don't know if that's entirely true, but
how
like,
many people bought Satan's Sodomy Baby when it came out?
I bought 2 copies and I still have them.
Yeah.
One to read and one to leave in the bag.
I had copies, but one of my friends needed one, so I was like,
honestly, that book was pretty tame.
It was. It
as
really
far
was.
as like that shit goes.
No,
like
it was just hard to find.
It was a thing that somebody didn't that got pressed because somebody didn't want to put it out, and then somebody else put it out or something. I don't know. However it worked.
I think probably they just pretended they didn't want to put it out.
Yeah, it was like I pitched it to DC and they said no. It's like of course they said no to the one where Satan shits a baby out and then it does shit.
Yes, it's weird. Anyway, if you like things where Satan shits out a baby, you're gonna love Blood Diner. So come see it.
Yeah,
come visit with us. Get some shit
just to hang out
Jackie.
and see a fun movie that's
and
like
just hang out with peers who are of your, who think the same way that you do. If you like cult movies and you like comics and you like the kind of stuff that Coast City does, why wouldn't you come out to this and meet the people who also feel the same way as you do?
And having been to Damnation Land, which had over 1,000 ticket purchases this week, we know that those people exist in this town.
They do.
So we got to just find them and let them know.
Yep.
And you can come from out of town too. Maybe you're listening in another town, like or another state, even. Perhaps you're in Vermont.
That's quite a trek. But if you want to, we would love it.
You could do it.
You could totally do it. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. You can follow us at Coast City Comics, at I'm Actually Comics, and you can follow Bob at Dollar Binge.
Yeah.
And
there may soon be a curated Dollar Bin at Coast City.
Yes, absolutely.
We're gonna try to get that going as a project.
That'll be awesome.
I think it's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week. Good night.
Bye.